And what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Wrong Side Simulations, bringing you the best content from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. And as always, my name is Blake, and I'm a real-world flight dispatcher. I'm going to bring you a little more content to your, or context to your flight sim viewing experience. Today, it's going to be a fun little flight, one I have not done yet. I bought the Boise scenery a long time ago and have yet to fly it. Long time ago being like maybe a month. But yeah. What is going on, everybody in the chat? Which is one person. Aviation Geek, what is up, dude? First like. Appreciate that. As always, great to see you, dude. Let's ride. Yippee! NTSB reports wrong side is back after girlfriend went to jail for getting mad at wrong side for many flight hours. If she went to jail, we'd be doing a lot of streaming. AB943, what's up, dude? Nice livery. Yep, I pulled that off of flightsim.to like not too long ago, like maybe an hour ago. Quickly made up a, I was going to do, you know, the typical Spirit, and I was like, oh, we got to do something different than Spirit. So, yeah, I went to flightsim.to and found this sexy livery, and we're going to fly this up to Boise. Made a little special flight in a pilot's life. Let's go ahead and get straight to it, get this aircraft prepped. And then we'll get to prepping the, well, I guess we need some batteries on, right? Alright, so as always, what we've been doing for the past little while is planning our flight and then conducting the flight, so that's exactly what we're going to do while we're waiting for those editors to get aligned. Alright, so let's go to edit flight. I did have to do a quick generate. Why is this an auto? This shouldn't have been an auto. Damn it. Now I don't know how many passengers this thing is actually boarding right now. Alright, 162. Cool. Callie Simmer. Hi there. Happy to finally watch you in a live stream. Well, happy to finally have you in the chat during a live stream. Alright, so let's get this 162 in here. So as dispatchers, when we come into a flight and we open up the flight that we're about to work, all of this stuff is already, like, not preset, but, you know, whatever is pre-booked is what we're going to see as far as passengers go. And obviously we've got airline and call signs already in there, our city pair, ETD, etc., right, the basic stuff. And then we go and we start manipulating everything else. Drew, what's up, dude? Welcome, welcome. Happy to see you. Just in time for a little flight planning. I anticipate, because of the part of the country that this flight is taking place in, I anticipate it's probably going to be very basic. Probably not a whole lot going on. Usually not a whole lot of stuff happening out west. So yeah, let's so we'll start with the basic stuff. So we're going to depart at 2215 Zulu. At that time in the TAF, winds are 070 at 7 knots, greater than 6 miles, scattered at 12,000 feet. Cool. At least that's what's planned, or what's in the TAF. In the METAR, winds are calm, 10 statute miles, it's hot as hell. CB's distant to the east. That's fun and flirty for Vegas. Vegas can't handle thunderstorms very much. So the flight is about an hour and a half long. So if we depart at 22:15, 23:15, 23:45 would be our ETA. So we're looking at winds 310 at 5 knots, greater than 6 miles on the Viz, and scattered at 15,000 feet. So no big deal there. Definitely don't need an alternate for that. CI, if we were a little bit delayed or something like that, we'd want to go fast. We're just going to fly, we'll just say 21 for now. And if we end up being, you know, a little bit late, then we can always increase the CI and try to make up some time. Alright, let's take a look at Vegas's ATIS. ATIS info Foxtrot is current, winds calm. You know, we just read all that on the weather. Visual approaches in use, landing runways 8 right, 19 left. Departing runways 8 left and 8 left at Alpha 8. So we'll figure we'll probably end up off 8 left at Alpha 8. So make sure we got 8 left in there. We do. Sweet. Alright, now Boise. Info Papa is current. Wind 010 at 5 knots, 10 statute miles. Few at 4,800, few at 8,000, few at 11,000. Temperature 33, dew point 6, altimeter 2987. ILS Yankee runway 10 right, and visual approaches are in use. Landing and departing 10 left, 10 right. Cool, so we're going to plan on 10 right, which is already in the box. Sweet. We got our 10 minutes of extra fuel that goes below the line. It's like company policy fuel. So we've got that there. Altitude we'll leave in auto for now. We've got our 162 passengers, 6.4 on the bags. Zero fuel would be auto. Everything else is normal. Then we got our contingency fuel. 10 minutes is probably going to be about all we'll need. Let's take a quick look at the weather radar real quick. So Vegas is just down around here. We got some CVs to the east. Not a big deal there. I think we are going to be departing to the east a little bit. This stuff might be a factor, but we'll have to take a look at where our route's going. And I'm not honestly really sure where Boise is on this here map, because there's not a lot we can see. But the main gist of it, okay, there we go, there's Idaho. Now I've yet to actually dispatch a flight into Boise. You'd think it'd be one of these dots. Who cares? Alright, so let's look at our route. So our route does go to the northeast first before cutting back to the west. I do believe this is the shortest route there is. There's that one, which is a little more dumb. If we wanted to avoid that weather altogether, we could cut to the west first and then come back. But that will be probably a longer route. 621 nautical miles. This one's 555. We don't want to overblock just to avoid, you know, some small scattered sail stuff that we could easily work around. Now, if it's a big weather system, obviously we're not going to go contend with that. So we probably would rather go to the west, but those are pretty small sails. Should be pretty easy to work around. So we'll likely keep that more easterly route. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we do got those sails out here, but it looks like the route works pretty well with it. Just from knowing weather out west, usually this stuff is mostly stationary. It's not like a big weather system that's just moving across. It's not like a squall line or anything like that. So this route should work totally fine. We'll take some extra gas to contend with these sails. Other than that, shouldn't be a big deal. Do got some rain in the Boise area that does not look like it's forecasted at all. And it's not no vicinity showers or anything, so that TAF might be changing. Cool, so let's go with 15 minutes of extra gas in our contingency. Got that. And I wish there was like a way to look at PIREPs. We should have some pretty decent little tailwinds on the way up. Just from looking at these wind barbs, for if y'all can even really see it. But all the wind barbs are kind of going along with the direction of our flight. So that'll definitely help on the burns. Cool. So we'll generate this, see what it's going to give us. Let's take a look at the OAS page real quick, just to make sure there's no... Oh, look at this. So this is something we would want to plan for. Out of Vegas, they are experiencing departure delays of 15 minutes and growing. So the plus sign means that those departure delays are getting worse. And the reason for that is for runway change, operational necessity. So the winds may have shifted, and they're reconfiguring the airport to either take off on the 8s, or maybe they're swapping it back around to do the 2 6s like they normally do. So we'll want to be on the lookout for that. Make sure there's they don't swap the airport around. They're still on the 8s. They typically do this every day. At some point during the day, they usually have to go to the 8s and then ultimately revert back to the 2 6s. What else is up here? Vancouver's in a program. We don't care about that. Orlando is having departure delays due to miles in trail. MIT means mile in trail. Don't know exactly how many miles, because that will definitely affect the departure delays. But essentially, on average, it's usually 20 miles in trail. So aircraft will depart and then have to wait until they're roughly 20 miles out of the way before the next one can depart. I think the other night, Orlando got impacted pretty hard with thunderstorms, and they were running 30-mile in trail because there was a lot of weather to the east and to the west. Traffic volume is pretty high in the little alleyway of clear airspace, so they were doing 30-mile in trail to get aircraft out and not to overwhelm Jacksonville Center controllers. So we got the same thing going down in Miami. Departure delays of 45 minutes, but getting better. So the little minus sign means those departure delays are decreasing, and it is also for miles in trail due to weather. What's this one? Palm Beach, 45 minutes and getting worse. Initiatives other. So this is probably Jacksonville Center staffing, if I had to guess. So anyways, nothing too crazy going on there. We'll add a little extra gas on our taxi out. As if it's like we were, dispatching this off real life stuff. Let's take a quick look at arrival demand. And it doesn't look like Boise even has arrival demand chart. So can't do that. Sweet. Alright, so it's going to give us flight level 340. Hour 25 minutes en route. And we've got our 10 minutes of extra fuel below the line. So our main required takeoff is going to be roughly 13.9. That gives us our trip fuel, which is 8.5. Gives us our reserve fuel of 3.8. And then the 15 minutes of contingency fuel, which is 1,500 pounds. For the taxi, though, we want to go back and increase that. Everything else should be fine. Let's bump this up to 25 minutes. In real life, we would be planning our taxi fuel based off fuel quantity and not time. At least most of us don't. I've seen some people do time. Alright, so taxi fuel is 600 pounds. Cool. So all this is good. I like it. We'll pre-file with the VATSIM. Flight plan is filed. We'll get that up out the way. Hopefully you get 10 right into Boise. Sounds like you're a little more familiar with Boise than I am, because I have not flown into this airport before. This will be my first time. But looks like that's That's what we're going to do based off of our flight plan. And there's no ATC, so we'll get to do what we want as of now. Alright, so we'll come into here. Let's go mass balance, my flight. Let's re-import this. Planned fuel is 11.5. That's yeah, we're gonna need more gas than that. That's not even, our min takeoff is 13.9. I was trying to get the passengers boarding before starting to do this so we wouldn't have to wait as long, but reset. We'll just have to do a quick. See, again, I wanted to go to 11. Oh, is it because of the fuel that's already on board? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. We're going to have to check our fuel before, which we always do. It's in the checklist. Alright, let's get this thing going. Atsu, AOC, flight init, initialize. Then we'll go to data. Aircraft status, 14 July 22, 10th of August. So we do have a current nav database. And then y'all can follow along as I program the McDo. Alright, so init, we'll initialize. Flight number, Allegiant 6. Cost index of 21. Cruising at 340. And the temperature is minus 41. You can see that just right up here. We'll drop that in. Flight plan, Vegas, departure off of 8 left on the Rat Pack 3. Frank transition, insert, Boise, arrival, ILS Yankee 10 right is what they're currently landing on. And we're going to go on the Spud 4. Brof transition, I guess, is how you would say that. Let's look at these approach vias real quick. In the charts, ILS Yankee 10 right. What we got? We got Jimmy. Then there's Renault. So we'll just do Jimmy. Should be the easiest. Insert that. Secondary flight plan. Let's go copy active. So I'm wondering if we need to. Winds are calm. I'm going to leave it on the. Whatever. Let's go secondary. And just in case they swap it, 26 right. Rat Pack 3. Bring transition. Cool. Alright, in the rad nav, I want to hard tune Vegas. The knit, our triple pause is 510, so it's really supposed to be 5 digits. So I just always throw in a couple extra random ones. Wind, request, get that uplink in there. Boom. Back over to a knit, tab over, and our planned zero fuel weight is 137.2. And we're going to do our standard CG of 30. Block fuel is 15.6. Taxi fuel is going to be 0.6. No route reserve. Alternate, none. And our reserve time is 3.9. Alright, clear that out of here. We do got 15.6 on board, so that's a good start. Altimeter is 2987. And we'll get that APU started. All right, 2987 all there. And the chart on the Rat Pack 3, top altitude is flight level 190. Cool, got that. Everything else is set up there. It's going to be a hell of a departure. We'll be flying a little loop on our way out. And just waiting to get that APU available. Start a 3-minute timer. There we go. Disconnect ground power, don't need that anymore. We're going to leave the preconditioned air on so we can get the bleed on, so we don't have just still stagnant air. Got about 20 more passengers to go, so it should be pretty good timing. All right. So then after that, once we get our load sheet, we can run our perf, figure out our engine out, acceleration, climb altitude, and be ready to do our briefings and get on out of here. On the do it or die list. I don't know, my eyes found that really quick. But Shaq, welcome aboard, man. Hope you get that last item done so that you don't get deaded. Let's see, reward Addons. With 100 plus temperatures in Vegas, you should be nice to pump. Yeah, you would think between that as well as the mountainous terrain, it should be bumpy. So good point. We'll plan on that. And with the heat, we'll probably we'll just take off in a max power takeoff. Just hanging out like a hair in a biscuit. How recent did this flight happen? Yeah, I don't know. It was in the flight schedule whenever I was choosing flight off a pilot's life. So I don't know. Who knows how up to date the flight schedule is? Coco, what's up? Welcome aboard. Happy to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. I played Infinite Flight today and landed in 30 knot crosswind. Jesus. On a phone? I wouldn't butter shit on a phone. Drinking some coffee. Alrighty. Just about at that 3-minute mark. These folks are done loaded. Let's get that put up. We're waiting on those last seconds for the APU. So 137.1 is our actual 0 fuel weight now. 0 fuel weight CG is 30.2. Got that in there. Now for the perf. Alright, Vegas off of 8 left. It's dry, hot as hell. Let's go flaps 2, TOGA, anti-ice off, packs off, and we're just going to go. I mean, we wouldn't have to do this in real life because it's not a full flight. We're not carrying an alternate, we're not taking a lot of gas, so we wouldn't really need to do this, but for fun, streaming purposes, we shall. Intersection, it's 8 left. At Alpha 8. So that, I don't know if y'all have noticed this or not, but the last few times I've tried to go looking for an intersection, I don't see the correct intersection on here at all. So we'll plan 8 left full length. And we also definitely wouldn't have to do a TOGA takeoff because there's like nothing in the way of 8 left. 8 left is like the most unrestricted runway in all of Vegas. So we'll do full length. Cool. So it's going to be flaps 2, down 0.2. No flex. V speeds 28, 41, 41. $31.60 all the way across. Pow to the pow pow. And we can get everything else disconnected. Get that hooked up. Let's get connected to VATSIM before I forget. Still nobody controlling. Right. Alright, so departure brief. This is going to be a right seat takeoff, as always, on the wrong side channel, because we're always flying from the wrong side. It's a 320 for aircraft tail strike avoidance. No MELs or CDLs that affect the performance of the aircraft. This pulled up. It's going to be a single engine taxi out. Our taxi route is going to be... That's all the way over there. Yeah, we're still going to take off Alpha 8. So we'll push out of here. We're going to go Delta Bravo Alpha 8. We have no hot spots, no runways to cross. Weather is no factor. Terrain is a factor, so we got terrain on the ND. And if anything happens before V1, It'll be my decision to reject the takeoff. We'll come to a complete stop, set the parking brakes, call the flight attendants to their stations, analyze the situation, call for any ecom actions or the emergency evacuation checklist as required. After V1, we're going to go flying. We'll fly our engine out altitude of basically we're just going to try to limp our way to a holding fix. We'll sit and hold, work out the scenario. We'll speed up, clean up, engine out. It's going to be 3,160 feet off the ground. We're over max landing weight if we need to come back, and if we come back, it'll probably be 8 right. If all goes as planned, our top altitude is going to be 19,000 feet, and we are flying the Rat Pack 3 departure, and we're squawking 2,000. Before start checklist, all the way. Before start checklist, all the way. Maintenance log and tails on board and check. Cockpit preps complete. Gear panels covers are removed. Signs are on and auto. ADIRs are in nav. Let's just double check that real quick. In nav. Fuel. Min required is 13.9. And we've got 15.6 on board. Altimeters 2987 set. EFB is checked. Windows door slides are closed and on. Beacons on. Thrust levers are in idle. Parking brakes on. Transponder is in auto. Before start checklist all the way is complete. Vegas traffic. Allegiant 6 pushing back Alpha 21. Vegas. Here we go. Brakes are released. And we're pushing. We're cleared to start. So we'll roll number 1. Alright, brakes set. Seems like they just showed us the pin. We'll flash the light at them. I guess so y'all can see it. I got buttons bound to my light, so I don't have to keep looking up and hitting them. Alright, so we got a good start on 1. Engine mode selected normal. On spoilers, reset rotor trim, flaps 2. Trim is down 0.2. But what we actually need is the TOCG setting. I ain't got no pin, man. Oh well. AOC menu, receive messages, load sheet, and it's going to be 29.3. Alright. TA. Yellow electric pump comes on. APU stays on for the single engine taxi. And after start checklist, engine anti-ice is off. Yellow electric pump is on. Rotor trim 0. After start checklist complete. Let's get out of here. Vegas traffic. Allegiant 6 is taxiing from Alpha 21 over to runway 8 left at Alpha 8 via Delta Bravo Alpha 8. Vegas. Let's check that ADIS real quick again, make sure they haven't swapped nothing around. Nope, all still good. And so once we get airborne, we'll get back to the chat converse with y'all a bit. And then also, yesterday I had a pretty cool experience. There's the mall over in Daytona. They've got this new sim experience kind of thing. They've got a 737 800 or Max 8 rather simulator. They got a CRJ 200 simulator. They've got what else they got? They've got Cessna 172 with a Garmin G1000 setup. They've got some racing sims. They got a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool. The prices are not pretty cool. Paid $129 to fly the 737. But we'll get into that some more. I got some pictures to show. It was a lot of fun. But they do say they got an Airbus coming. And y'all know, when they get that Airbus, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to slay in that cockpit. So once we get on this straightaway on Delta, we're going to get engine number 2 fired up. Clear left and right. Alright, let's kill the yellow electric pump. And we can start number 2. Wait, hold on, I'm cleaning. Be right back. Yeah, that's how far back in the chat that I am. You wouldn't butter on a phone because your girlfriend would probably freak out if you were playing flight sim on your phone. Yeah, she might would. You're always on your phone. That's something too, is like since we've gotten a few more subscribers on the channel, the Discord has become a little more active. And so like I'll get off of a stream and then go be chatting on the Discord. And then I'm hearing shit for that. Roger wasn't sure if it was real life. Nah, I mean it is and it's not. This is a route that they fly. I don't know if like this was like, oh, they're flying this flight right now at this exact minute kind of thing. I know some people try to get like that specific with it, but all that's really in the grand scheme of things is pretty null and void in my opinion. It was nice getting to see another game even though I stayed up late. Maybe Squawkins triple, no, or 7700. I don't know why I said triple. Yeah, definitely not doing that. I wonder if like that sim supervisor like come out of the woodwork. I'm like, oh, see, you're squawking 7700. What's up with that? I'm not gonna be in the chat much because I'm doing another flight. No worries. Doing Vegas to Houston. Cool. Coco, if you're still watching, are you on VATSIM? Because I would be seeing you around here or hearing you, I guess. Zach, what's up, man? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming to join us on this little surprise stream. And as always, guys, please smash that like button. Obviously, it does a lot for the channel, and greatly appreciate it. Alright, so we got engine 2 started. Engine mode selected back to normal. Reset the rotor trim. Flap set, trim set. Spoilers already armed. All that good stuff. Now we can kill the APU. And we'll roll into our mini brief. Mini brief, departing off runway 8 left. Gross weight is 152.6. Flap config 2. Fuel on board 15.4. V1 is 128. V2 141. We are in TOGA for this departure. Top altitude is 19,000 feet, and our first fix is flare. Flight controls, check. Full up, full down, and neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. Rudder, full left, full right, neutral. We'll make this turn, then go through our flow. here is Alpha 8. Alright, set the parking brake. Alright, before takeoff checklist to the line, gross weight comparison to complete pitch trim is 29.3% CG set, V1, VR, V2 flex, 28, 141, 141, no flex. Flaps config 2, flight instruments are checked, flight controls are checked. ECAM memo, takeoff all green. ECAM status is checked, predicted wind shear is on auto, TCAS code set to TARA, cabin crews advised, mini brief is complete. We'll get those packs off. And before takeoff checklist below the line, takeoff runway, 8 left at Alpha 8 is confirmed. Fuel min required is 13.9. We've got 15.3 on board. Engine mode selectors normal. Bleed packs are set. Before takeoff checklist below the line is complete. Vegas traffic. Allegiant 6, departing off runway 8 left at Alpha 8. We're climbing out on the Rat Pack 3, exiting the airspace to the northeast. Vegas. Alright guys, y'all ready for the TOGA takeoff? Zach, it is. It probably wouldn't usually be like this, but since we're departing off of 8 left, it's got this weird little loop to it. Alright, here we go. Mantoga SRS runway, correction, Mantoga SRS auto thrust blue. It is not thrust set. Speed 1 and rotate. Pause the brake. You're up. Now. Acceleration. Climb altitude. Our nose are down. Get a positive trend on that airspeed. Oh yeah, there's some bumps. First climb. Pack 1 on. And we'll get Pack 2 on. Sir, it is bumpy. Alright. Flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. And flaps up, speed checks, flaps up. After takeoff checklist. Landing gears up, flaps retracted, bleed packs are set, and APU is off. After takeoff checklist is complete. 1. Just notice that Vegas traffic, Allegiant 6 is clear of runway 8 left, exiting the airspace to the northeast on the right pack 3. Vegas. Yeah, FS realistic never started up. And we'll go back to some hand flying. I believe Phoenix is supposed to be coming out with a new and improved LNAV VNAV, which would definitely be nice, because I noticed that often these flight directors kind of bounce around a little bit, like it's struggling to really predict the LNAV VNAV path. Makes for a little irritatingness on the hand flying, like that right there. It's like it commanded to roll left. We started our roll back to the left, and then it shot back over to the right. Love flying over mountainous terrain in this sim. Let's do this. Saving some pictures from my phone. From the flight sim thing we did yesterday. That way I can put it on my Google Photos and show y'all. That's obviously little bit of an issue. Went almost 2 miles off our lateral path, which is not great. Guys, let's go. Let's do it. TOGA. You can definitely tell it was hot. Yeah, it sure was. I didn't think it was going to bump around even that much. I need a 7-digit salary. Yeah, don't we all? Hell, a 6 would be fine. Stream looking sexy. Is it an Allegiant aircraft? Yep, sure is. Alright, so we're going to go standard. And we'll keep it going up to our final of 34,000 feet. Thrust climb, open climb. There you go, Aviation Geek. There's Allegiant special LA Raider livery. Something actually pretty good. Not an LA Raider fan, but I do like the paint scheme. I always forget to turn down the sounds. I forget to turn them up on taxi, and then I forget to turn them down after I remember to turn them up. Probably deafening y'all. There's Nellis down there. Faders fan or Raiders fan, Drew? Oh, just like that. Oh, I got you. Gotcha. I love the short flight between LAX and Vegas, but every time I fly it in real life, I swear I'm going to drive the next time because it's so dang. But yeah, it's all that mountain wave. Every single time that I've ever flown into Vegas, it has always been bumpy, and even that's coming in from the east. And Simone, appreciate you calling out the altimeter reset. I always get distracted in the chat, and I miss it right at 18,000 feet. Never fails. Stravis says, can't imagine myself flying a livery of a division rival. So who's your team? Honestly, I don't follow the NFL a whole lot. I'm more of a college football kind of guy. LSU Tigers is more my set. So for me, don't really care. But if this was an Alabama airplane, I mean, if it's sexy, I'll fly it. but I'm not a Bama fan at all. So yeah, so yesterday, went over to Daytona. My girlfriend and I went over there to go visit her parents and her nephew, and we were all looking for something to do. So somebody told me about this sim experience I'm about to show y'all, called US Simulation over in Daytona Mall. And to me, it was pretty cool. So this was the 737 MAX simulator that we flew. They got some work to do on it. It's they just opened up this place like 2 months ago, so some switches and stuff like that are still like need to be adjusted, and like the tiller was unbelievably sensitive. I believe the screen was quite a bit off center from like the direction that you're taxiing. If you're going straight and be on the center line, like it was kind of weird. It's hard to explain, but it was the simulator in this was prepared, and I was doing Lauderdale to Orlando. I purchased an hour in this simulator was $129, which I felt like was worth it to be able to fly a 7.3 MAX full cockpit setup. But there were some parts of it that were a little janky, but nonetheless, it was still a lot of fun. It's always cool to like actually put your hands on the switches versus clicking a virtual cockpit, right? So still enjoyed it. We had some issues on takeoff. I was full elevator deflection, nose up, and trimming up, and like wouldn't hardly do anything. So something turned out to be wrong with the sim. So they actually pulled us off of this, and we went and flew their CRJ 200 sim. The CRJ 200 sim they have is actually FAA approved. Embry-Riddle students can come over and actually do training in this simulator. So they took us over to that. That simulator is, and we're going to look at it here, but that simulator is like $182 an hour, something like that, which we didn't have to pay the difference because we were having issues in the 7.3. So let's see, let's go. Yeah, so here it is, all lit up. You can see it a bit more. Had tablets, which was cool. Had charts. The only problem was the scenery was not up to date by any means. Like we took off of, this was actually 9 right in the sim, but in real life it's 10 right, just because magnetic variation, runway numbers have changed. But they also made the runway a lot longer in real life compared to back whenever Prepared has this scenery for. So we took off a super short runway, and then struggled to climb. But they do plan on getting some. They take scenery requests, and they will purchase payware scenery for airports that people want to fly in. So that's kind of cool. But this is the whole thing. Got 3 big old projectors. That was one complaint that I do have, is when you're taxiing and you're trying to look out of the right window, like it's seems pretty distorted, and in fact it was kind of making me nauseous a bit when I was trying to look out the right window to turn onto a taxiway or something like that. Couldn't really read the taxiway signs until you were like on them. So that was a little bit of a challenge. It was really hard to navigate around the airport while we were taxiing. We were simulating ATC. There's an instructor, and he's calling out all the ATC callouts, and we do the readbacks and all that kind of stuff, just like BATSIM. But nonetheless, it's pretty hard to navigate around the airport because it's just so hard to read the taxiway signs. So here's myself in the left seat and my girlfriend's nephew. We nicknamed him Little Man. So anyways, us sitting here, we got the Lauderdale chart pulled up. We're at gate Fox 6, I believe it was, and in a cold and dark, and getting everything powered up and getting it going. But I tell you what though, it's pretty crazy how, like, I've flown plenty of PMDG. Granted, I will admit it's been a few months since I've flown the 7.3 in the sim. Plus, y'all know me, I fly from the right seat. but for today I was in the left seat. So it's kind of hard to, like, you get so used to seeing how you have your view set up and you know like where to click, and then when you're in the real thing, like now you're not in that like down low looking straight up at the overhead panel. Like now you're kind of looking at an angle and stuff, and it's a little bit harder to find things. So that was a fun little challenge, was like trying to find stuff and like remember, you know, what needs to be hit, because it does look pretty different from a real life point of view versus, you know, a sim. But you still, if you know what needs to be done, eventually you'll find it. But yeah, so here we are, we're getting the IRSs into a line, kind of the beginning of the flight. Same thing there. Then turn on all the window heats and just kind of rolling from like the top and just going from left to right, top to down, and inputting the route into the FMS. And that was the other challenge, was like the nav database was current. We had current charts, but like all the scenery wasn't, so it was kind of making things a little bit harder. Getting those fuel switches turned on, getting ready to push back. Guess you can't zoom into this stuff, but we do have the flight plan inputted into the airplane. You can kind of see it there on the nav display, which is pretty neat. And then we're getting ready to, I think we actually are pushing at this time, and reading back to the instructor the taxi instructions. And after that, everything kind of went askew, and we got off the ground barely, but we weren't really able to fly once we were off the ground. Having a lot of trim issues. I was trimming nose up, full deflection, but then like the trim was showing full nose, or not full nose down, but it was like stuck. Like no matter which direction I trimmed in, the little trim indicator wasn't moving at all. So it didn't seem like the trim was moving. They were still trying to get like all the bindings set up correctly in the airplane, and obviously in a real airplane like that, each individual switch, it's going to be it's a lot of effort there. It takes them a little while. So now we are on again 9 right in Lauderdale in the CRJ 200, and just kind of getting everything put in. Before we continue on with this, get those seatbelt signs turned off, let passengers move around. We are at our cruising altitude of 34,000 feet. Alright. So yeah, kind of getting everything put back into the FMS or CDU, whatever they call it, in a CRJ. From here it was a little bit of a struggle because they do not update the nav data in this airplane. I think he said some universities come in as well as the FAA comes in. So they kind of leave everything the same so that there's no changes. Therefore, they always have the same route and like da-da-da-da. So I was kind of struggling with that because I know the latest route for Lauderdale to Orlando, but the nav data in the CRJ was pretty old. There was some stuff there I didn't even recognize. But again, not a big deal. Able to figure out a route and just throw it in. So here's kind of the, you know, like the shell of the airplane. They got a big curved projector, and that's kind of how we're seeing everything, versus the other one was like 3 separate projector screens. So the visuals were a little bit better on this. This was not prepared, but the visuals were probably equal to prepared, and it's about equal to the visuals that we actually have in our real life level D sims. It's definitely a far step from Microsoft Flight Simulator, but they don't have as much flexibility to make things as cool and nice as they want in this one because the FAA is involved with this simulator. But I do think that they plan on bringing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 to as many of their simulators that they can, because obviously that's the new hot, good-looking sim. And here we are in the cockpit. Looks like we are in cruise at this point. Yeah, we just climbed out on the, I think it was the rides one. Can't remember. But yeah, so we're climbing out on the SID. You can kind of see it in the nav display. Again, this airplane doesn't have any auto thrust, so that made things a little more challenging. I hand flew most of the route. We're just kind of cruising at this point. This is the instructor's head. So, yeah, and they got like a whole station over here. They can do engine failures and change the weather and all that kind of stuff. For this flight, he just set all the winds to calm, made it as generic as possible, so we didn't have to like do too much crazy planning. I think my dog needs to go outside. Got the little mock-up circuit breaker. I wonder if the circuit breaker works. That'd be pretty cool. And I think we're prepping for the arrival. Getting the approach plate pulled up so I could go ahead and tune the ILS. The little man along for the ride. We're letting him kind of try to hand fly a little bit. The CRJ, for those of y'all who don't know, the CRJ takes quite a bit of pressure on the yoke, and he was struggling a little bit with that. And so now we're hand flying the entire descent all the way down to the runway. And there's a little man. I didn't know there was a checklist up here. I didn't have a checklist on mine. Yeah, so you can see we're on approach. Got the runway out ahead of us. Yeah, struggled a little bit on the ILS. It doesn't. So the PFD, you know, you get your glide slope on the right, and then you have your localizer. Typically on most PFDs, you'll have your localizer caret on the bottom of the PFD, but this one doesn't have that. You have the HSI on the bottom with the localizer needle or arrow at the bottom. So yeah, I was struggling a little bit trying to manage my glide slope, and in fact just get established on the glide slope, because there's not really any VNAV in the CRJ 200. So I was trying to manage that. I was trying to get on runway heading, or on approach course rather, managing the speed, trying to like help little man with the flaps, get the flaps out, that kind of stuff. It was a lot to manage. Really tip my hat to CRJ pilots, because it's not an easy, the easiest airplane to fly compared to like the Airbus or the 737, where you got a little more automation to it. I guess, is that the last one? Yep, that's the last one. Some little videos. I don't remember what's going on in these. Yeah, we were doing something. This was taxiing to the runway. I'm saying that tiller was like incredibly sensitive. But yeah, it was a cool experience. They have the G1000 set up for the Cessna 172. I think that one's like $95 an hour. They have Cirrus 22. They have quite a few things. They need to kind of get the website built up and going so people can look. We were trying to research it before going to it. I figured they would probably have the G1000 type of setup. Most simulator places usually have that, but I was not expecting a full-fledged 737 MAX setup whenever when I walked in and they had that, and I instantly got really excited. Yeah, so if you're ever in Florida, you make your way over to Daytona. I got some pretty cool stuff. I did tell them too. You know, when that Airbus comes, I'm gonna be coming over. Probably book and call ahead. Book 2 or 3 hours, depending on how much it costs, and do some flights, or at least a flight. I'd like to try maybe do like a round trip, and maybe for that event would be worth it to go purchase a couple GoPros and do a video in the real airplane, or the real cockpit rather, and see how us flying this all the time stacks up to inside the real airplane. I think I'd be able to hold my own, but I think that a lot, and then you go sit in a cockpit and it's like, oh wait, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I got us a company message. I'm hungry. Girlfriend's bringing food home. go ahead and get our preliminary arrival information set up. So reference fix, we're going to do Kboi 10 right. I'm going to put I'm going to start with a 7 nautical mile range ring around that until we look at the charts and kind of figure out what we're going to expect on this approach. Let's tab over 1 and pulling up the charts. ILS Yankee looking for the last fix, which will be the final approach fix, Sitsi. Throw that in there. And we want the opposite direction, which is going to be 282. Get that extended center line drawn. Sweet. Perf. I just like to get everything in there a little early. That way, if we're kind of late, if I get stuck in the chat, then we already got something in there. 310 at 3 knots. .26 on the temp, 30.01. And then minimums. Where is? And it's going to be 200 feet. Sweet. So that's ready to go. Let's check the ATIS again. Boise. ILS runway 10 right and visual approaches in use. Sweet. That's how much I pay for a DA-20 in real world training. That's awesome. You went. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and you know, Daytona is where Embry-Riddle's at, so that's kind of the main purpose of this place, is to provide, I guess, another asset for Riddle pilots or students to go to and do some training if they like. They're definitely training or charging those real world fees. Now it's kind of interesting though, because on their prices, it'll say like $60 an hour for the 737 Max, then $60 an hour for instructor. So it's like, what if I don't need an instructor? Like, do I have to have an instructor? And if the answer to that is yes, then it should probably just put like 120 or 129, whatever it costs. Just put it as like the overall price, and the instructor is part of that. Because if I feel like I don't need an instructor and you're splitting up the price, I might ask to not have the instructor to save the money. But if you're making a requirement, then like just don't even give an option to split up the price. That would just piss me off. But oh wow, that looks cool. It was really cool. It was unfortunate that it wasn't fully functioning. The throttles are supposed to be motorized in the 7.3, but like they're still kind of getting everything tightened down and like still working on it a bit. So it was really cool that they put me on the CRJ instead, and I didn't have to pay the difference. But in the state that the 737 was in, like I don't know if I'd at least charge like half or 3/4 of the full price, or maybe not let anybody fly it yet until it's all kind of set up, because it was just a little too janky to really like fully enjoy the experience, unfortunately. But nonetheless, either way, like I still had a great time and really enjoyed myself, and the people that work there are super, super nice, and I'll definitely be going back, especially when they get that Airbus. In fact, I know for sure one, but maybe a couple of those guys who are working there maybe even subscribed to the channel. We were all talking about flight simming after we were done, and I think one or two of them may have subscribed. Jay, what's up, dude? Yes, sir. We are flying Allegiant. I know. Very weird for this channel, right? We are flying the Raider Special livery, which I must admit, it's a pretty good looking livery if you ask me. So I went and downloaded V1's profile, but I kind of liked mine better, and now I don't know how to revert. Back to mine. An hour and 39 minutes on my last flight plan. Nice. This one's hour 25. So Drew, you keep saying faders. What's the deal with faders versus Raiders? 'Cause I don't know. I know nothing about the Raiders. Let's see, we're about to cross Eli here in 27 miles. We want to do a fuel check there. Oh, hour 39. Oh, I get it. Okay, I thought you were talking about like a flight sim flight plan, like you flew an hour and 39 minutes. So I was kind of thinking, I was like, all right, what's the significance of that? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, not bad. I think that's probably it's a good average, right? I think for most people, they're pushing 2 hours on a flight plan. How long do they allot you? Like, how much time do they allot you for the flight plan portion of your oral and practical, or the practical, I guess? And are they going to have you do the flight plan before you talk to the inspector or the guy? Drew, okay. Raiders, but they suck, so faders. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Well, now I'll start calling them the faders then. Until I piss off the wrong person. Jay, when I did my oral and practical, I did my flight plan first. See, 3 hours for Monday's practice test. The real deal is 2 hours. Right. Okay. Yeah. So for me, I did my flight plan first, and then myself and the FAA guy reviewed my flight plan, talked about why I did what I did, blah blah blah. But we had some people who did the oral portion first before doing the flight plan. So I'm just kind of wondering if they require you to do your flight plan first before going into the inspector, talking to him or her. Alright, so here comes Eli. We're supposed to have 9.6 on board. Gah. And we're at 10.5. I'm curious to how. I know there's sim limitations with the fuel burn stuff on the Phoenix, but I need to figure out how. Unless I just start subtracting like 1,000 pounds from whatever sim brief says. Because it seems like every flight it's roughly 1,000 pounds under burn, which is, you're not going to have that much under burn every single flight. Tennessee sucks. Yep, I'll be saying that whenever LSU plays Tennessee later on this year. Gonna go outside. Alright guys, I'm gonna go let the dogs out real quick. They ate and I haven't let them out, so they probably got to shit. Alrighty. Freaking starving. Haven't eaten at all today. So today, my, for the most part, roommate moved out. And that means we're going to have our friend's mom owns a cleaning company. So we're going to have her come over here, clean up the house real quick. Because our roommate had cats. They shed like crazy. Vomit everywhere. Pooping and stuff behind like the couch and shit. So we're going to have clean lady come around and just kind of clean up, disinfect the house really well. And then I'm going to be moving all my computer shit to her old room because she's got a walk-in closet that I desperately need. Because my girlfriend's got my dresser, she's got a walk-in closet, she's got the nightstand, she's got everything. She got all the drawers and all the hanger space. I got nothing. So I'm going to be moving all my stuff into that room and get all the computer things put in there. I got some floating shelves that I didn't think we were going to be in this house as long as we are, so I've never did put them up. So I'm going to get up into the attic, get those floating shelves, put them up on the wall. That'll be behind wherever like I'll be sitting. Put all my aircraft models on there, make that look real nice. And then this other little deal here, probably put my flight controls on it and whatever other remaining models. Try to get the room looking, you know, nice for streams and that kind of stuff. So really excited about that. Kind of glad that she's out of here. We'll have more privacy and house will be cleaner. None of those damn cats are out. And just kind of happy. Nothing like a little cheese stick and some pepperoni for a little snack. Until girlfriend gets home with my food. I hope y'all had a great weekend. It's kind of a weird one for me. Because I went back to work on Thursday, worked 2 days, and then now I've got 4 off. And then I start the whole managing stuff on Wednesday. So this should be fun. Wednesday kind of getting like a little introduction to like what I'll be doing daily as dispatch manager. And then on Thursday, jumping straight into interviews, we're interviewing 15 people for dispatch jobs, so that'd be pretty cool. And after that, I don't know. No idea what I'm going to be doing. Other than just helping out the dispatchers, whatever they need, stuff like that. I do think I want to get the throttle quadrant that it's kind of like what V1's got, except it's got a little more true functionality. So that's on my list. I'll add that to the flight sim setup. Contemplating maybe the stick that he's got, the true Airbus side stick with the Warthog base. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of like having a couple extra buttons on top of mine, so I can, like, while we're taxiing, when y'all see me like look left, look right, I'm using the button on the joystick to do that, so I don't have to, take my hand off the joystick or the side stick while I'm taxiing, because I'm also using that as my tiller. I need some ATC to come online. Now see, this is why I question Microsoft Flight Sim's weather. As you see on Volanta, we're flying past a whole bunch of stuff. I guarantee you, especially like these darker sails, those tops would be a lot higher than what we're seeing out the window right now. Much, much higher. In fact, we can go cross-check if we want to and see what those sails are really sitting at. Callie Simmer asks, what do you use for pedals? I use the Thrustmaster TPR pedals. They're not cheap, and it hurt like hell to spend the money on them, but they nice. They're really nice. Now, pretty soon, I'm going to be showing off some pictures from whenever I went to Jetline Systems. They have partnered up with a flight sim hardware flight controls company. So once they give me the go-ahead that I can show the pictures finally, I will. There's some rotor pedals on there y'all would be interested in, especially for the price point. I was pretty surprised once I was putting my feet on them and was messing around with them a bit, and they told me how much they cost, and I was like, oh my god, and like I paid more than double for my TPRs compared to those, and those are probably of just about as high quality. So stay tuned on the channel. Once I get that go ahead, they estimate around like the 25th I'll be able to start showing y'all pictures and talking more in depth about it, but I think you'd be surprised. In fact, they're cheaper than the Honeycomb Bravo or Charlie pedals, and a lot nicer. Dogs are sitting there staring at me. So let's take a look. Got all this weather in front of us and to our east. So let's see. Let's see what those tops are actually like. Turn that off. Oh yeah. Alright, so we're on our way up to Boise, which is up over this way. So we're roughly around this area right now. And these tops are all at a minimum 35,000 feet. Well, we're at 34 right now, so we're lower than any of these tops are. These tops span from 40,000 feet, 45. A little bit further east, we got tops at 50, 55,000 feet. And then as the further north we go, they hover around 40 to 35,000 feet. Well, that don't look like no thunderstorms at 35 to 40,000 feet. And we're currently at 34, so we would be below all that weather. And it don't look like it is to me. So again, that's why I question Microsoft Flight Sim's weather. So what's the brand of pedal? I'm not gonna say, just because I don't know if I can or not. I'll find out, and if I can, I'll mention it in the Discord. I'll tag you in it, and yeah, I don't know if I can say anything yet. They're not like super brand new pedals, but they're not old either. But it's by a company that doesn't really have a whole lot of, like, they don't really dabble in the airline stuff a whole lot. So for everybody who's more of the airline type folks, you may not have really seen or heard of this company a whole lot. But these pedals, though, would be totally fine for anything airlines. Yep, Callie Simmer, you felt my pain. And I got the TPRs at the same time I got the Bravo throttle. So yeah, it was a hard hunt. I think it was like $1,100 bucks. It was a hard debit card swipe. That's for sure. Hillbilly, what's up, dude? I'm guessing it's not baby time yet. I was kind of wondering that. I was like, I haven't seen Hillbilly in the chat. I wonder if it's baby time. Speaking of peripherals, you think it's worth to grab the Thrustmaster Airbus Quadrant? Yeah, I do. It's nice to feel the detents in your hand, especially when if you fly a lot of Airbus like me. I also have the add-on, so like the spoiler and the flaps. For me personally, I wouldn't be as interested in them if I couldn't have the add-ons. Like the add-ons for me are a must. But that's just me. And if you don't have them, aside from looking down in the cockpit and like taking the mouse and dragging them up or down for the flaps or spoilers, like, are you really going to have two separate like throttle quadrants or something, you know, two separate units to control your flaps and spoilers in addition to your throttles? So for me, I would have to have the throttle and the add-ons to the throttle to be worth it, in my opinion. Once you got them though, Airbus is way more fun to fly. But I would say maybe hold off on buying those. Well, there's a little something I know about them that I'll have to have a chat with you about in Discord. You know, I'll probably send you a message after I get done stringing my cheese. Got a coworker that I work with. Super funny dude. Every time he eats a banana at work, so we have like these dividers in between the desks. Every time he eats a banana, he like stands up and just like looks me in the eyes and eats his banana. It's pretty funny. He's on honeymoon right now with his wife. They've been on honeymoon for like 6 weeks, something like that. They've been all over Europe. Now they're all over Asia. Dude travels like crazy. I travel like crazy too, but I travel in a virtual world with y'all. Yeah, battling the detents with the Bravo sucks. I could imagine. Well, there's probably remedies for that if you didn't want to spend the money on Airbus throttle and stuff. Like looking at V1's setup, I think he bought some like detents from it's called Etsy. I think he has some sort of detent, something that you can put on the inside or outside that gives you detents. I think. Now, it might be another option for you. More realistic, the real aircraft. Yeah, very, very different. Ashim, what's up, dude? Where are you now? Probably got you going all over the place. Damn, I need a paper towel, wipe my hands. This pepperoni is greasy. Shut up. Move. Move. And for those of y'all who noticed, yes, I am wearing camouflage shorts. Love these shorts. My girlfriend got them for me for Christmas, I think. They're workout shorts, but they're like military multicam, and they are very comfortable. Not the prettiest things in the world, but nobody wears camouflage to be pretty. Alright, so we're getting ready to cross our top of descent. Let's make sure we got the current weather information in. Just gonna get everything set up. So the weather is still the same on the ILS push buttons. We'll auto brake low. Alright. Let's brief it up real quick. Gonna cross check everything real fast. 102, go. Alright. So we are planning on the ILS Yankee runway 10 right in Boise. The frequency is 111.1. Final approach course is 102 degrees. Final approach fix is SITC, 4,100 feet. Touchdown zone elevation is 2,836. We have a standard 3-degree glide slope. Approach lights, Pappy on the left. If we go missed, we'll climb to 3,300, then make a climbing right turn to 7,300, and then probably just box it back around and give it another shot. Minimums for this approach, planning the standard Cat 1 ILS. So it's going to be 200-foot ceilings, half-mile visibility. On runway 10 right, have high-intensity runway lights, centerline lights, approach lights, touchdown zone lights, a VASI on the left, 3rd-degree glide path on that VASI. RVR is reporting, and from the glide slope we have 8,785 feet of usable runway. It's 150 feet wide. Let's see, once we land, it's going to be a left-hand turnoff. Terminal's up here on the north side of the airport, so we'll come down, aim to get off at Charlie, and we'll cross 28 right at Charlie and make our way in. So with that, we got our ILS push buttons armed, and we're going to go auto brake low. If anybody's got any questions, throw them in the chat. Other than that, we'll consider this approach brief complete. Oh man, the 320 journey is officially over. Well, I am sure that you are looking forward to that 777. It's going to be a lot of fun. Probably get to see a lot of cool places doing that. What's the name of your dog? Can we see him or her? Got 2 of them. Got so I got a Chocolate Lab. It's my girlfriend's dog. Her name is Macy. She is 10, about to be 11 here soon. She's starting to show it. She's probably half to 3/4 blind. Poor thing. Ran into a glass sliding door last night. I got like a gnat in here. Yeah, I just hit myself in the face. She's a full-blood Chocolate Lab. And then got my dog. Her name is Bella, and she is 51% boxer, 47% golden Labrador Retriever, and thrust idle descent, and I think 3% golden retriever. I can try to make where y'all can see it. I can move the camera a little bit. Give me one sec. Let's see. Charts. The bottom altitude is going to be 7,000 feet. And the airspace is uncontrolled. And there they go. I think my girlfriend's home, so they just ran out the room. But instead, I'll see if I can pull up some pictures for y'all, since it's a special request. Yeah, so here's the dogs. That's Macy. Then got Bella. Super, super, super sweet dogs. Very, very good dogs. Don't really ever do anything wrong. Sometimes bark a little too much. That's about it. And Bella's back. Bella doesn't really leave my side. She's my baby girl. She showed up at my house, my parents' house, whenever, I don't know, I just got out of the Air Force. She showed up, I think, in 2013, and she was clearly somebody else's dog before. She was housebroke and very well mannered, but she wasn't spayed yet. So after a couple weeks, nobody claimed her. We hadn't seen anything. We put stuff on the internet, asking if anybody owns her. Nobody claimed her, so took her in, and she's been by my side ever since. I'm probably her emotional support human at this point. But she is also 10 years old. She's getting up there in age. She's just shy of 100 pounds. She's a big girl. But she's about 100 pounds of pure love and affection. She will literally, love you to death. Lay on you and crush you. But, yeah. Really good dogs. When they're gone, it's gonna be really tough. Oh, and Macy's back too. Let's see. So there's Macy. She knows I got food, so she's begging. And then we got Bella down here. She's gonna be harder to see. She's black, laying on a black piece of carpet. Belle. Yeah, you can see her. She's the sweetest thing in the world. If I stop petting her, she will not like it, and she'll usually nudge me or something, just like that. Like, yo. She just plants her face on my hand. She always wants to be loved on. And since I'm giving Bella attention now, the other one's gonna come over here. But they're really good dogs. I'm ready to get this bed out of this room. It's one of my coworkers, one of my fellow dispatchers. He commutes from Minnesota, and he's gonna be using my house as his crash pad. So he's gonna have this room once I get everything moved out. He's gonna have this one, and I'll move all my stuff to the other room. Just want to get the bed in here. So I sleep on it sometimes when my girlfriend's home. If I get off of work, she's home. She's coming in and out of the bedroom, and it's loud and stuff like that. So I'll come in here and sleep, since I sleep during the day. But they're gonna get this bed, or actually I guess leave this bed in here, and take all my stuff to the other room, so we'll get the room looking real nice. I'm not really a big fan of how that looks. behind me on stream. Oh wow, my dad is still in PIA, has the last 5 years left. He has flown the 777 for 12,000 hours. Wow, that's awesome. So Hashim, what's the like retirement age? Like, is there a age limit over there? Like here, pilots have to retire at age 65. So what are y'all's regulations on that out there? You start tomorrow, manager, right? I start officially my first day as manager. Like my new position was yesterday. I didn't work yesterday, but my position transitioned from flight dispatch officer to manager of flight dispatch yesterday. But I don't start my first day of that position until Wednesday. He used to be in the Air Corps. Oh, okay. That's really cool. All very sweet. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, my dog is probably one of the most important things in my life. Like, if my girlfriend was like, it's either me or the dog, that's not even a question. My girlfriend would find herself walking down the street just the same way that my dog was when she showed up at my house. Alrighty. Altimeter is 3001. Let's get that thrown in there. $30.01. All right. Let's go. So 1,000 feet above our stable criteria is 3,800 feet. So approach checklist. Briefing is complete. Approach stable by 3,800 feet. Ecom status is checked. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimum is 200 set. Engine NAS 1 and 2 is off. And the altimeter is 3001 set. Approach checklist complete. Let's get a flight recorder going so we can record this one since we're only doing one leg. Cool. Flight recorder's up. Y'all try to remind me because I'll forget. I'll send you a pic of myself with him in 06 when we first got 320s. Okay, cool. See if you've already done that or not. It looks like you have. Oh wow, that is really cool. Little did you know you're gonna be flying that same airplane. So, the old paper pics, what airplane is that? It looks like a MiG of some sort, right? It's way back in the day. It's really cool though. I was a little bit nervous to stream today. So we have a lot of thunderstorms sitting around Orlando. Or at least it was when I first started streaming. Mix 17, okay. That's really cool. Oh, for cargo it's 70, okay. That's pretty cool. Maybe they should do that over here. For the life of me, I cannot get Flight Recorder to work. I know it's me. I'm sure I'm not properly getting it set up or something. So, really all you got to do is, after you install it, make sure it's up to date, because this does update every now and then. When you hit record, just type in a file name to remember it by. So like for this one, I'll probably just type in Kboi. And once you do that and you hit save, it is then recording, and it'll tell you, it'll tell you somewhere. We'll just do. Let's just do a practice one. Record. We'll type it in. Kboi. Save, and now it says recording, so we know it's recording. When you're done, just hit stop, and then after that, when you go watch it back, you want to go hit load, pick it out. So for this one, would be Kboi. Hit open, and then boom, it's gonna play. So let me restart that just to make sure I got it working. Cool. You can also so like if you record one of your landings, you can then like taxi to short of the runway that you just landed on, and then go to flight control replay, and it'll play you. I can't remember exactly how I did it once. It was really cool. But you can activate that replay, and it'll show you landing on that runway as AI, and it's just kind of a cool way to see like your landing from a different perspective. AvGeek hasn't really started yet. I start the managing stuff on like as of yesterday. My official position has changed from like flight dispatch officer to flight or manager flight dispatch, but I haven't had my first day of working as that yet. Wednesday will be my first day doing the manager stuff. We'll be I'm gonna be sitting down, myself and another guy. We're gonna be shadowing Susan, who's she's been in management for a little while. She just transitioned from operations manager, who basically overlooks the entire operation inside the OCC. She just transitioned from that over to dispatch manager, so we're gonna shadow her for the whole day and just kind of get an idea of what we need to do daily. And then Thursday we're going to be doing job interviews, and then after that just kind of on my own. But it's a brand new position. We're kind of building it from the ground up, so there's like not really a training regiment. Let's see where we're at. Yep, I'm going to stow them spoilers, and we'll get those landing lights on. That on as well. Cool. Let's try something real quick. Current weather in Boise is pretty nice. Light winds from the northwest, 10 miles visibility, nice warm temperatures around 26 degrees Celsius. And as always, I want to thank you for flying Allegiant. Hope to see you on a future Allegiant flight. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival. And there we go. Using packs to do that. Turn that volume back down. Let's see where we at. So we're VNE plus 10, so we can go flaps 1. Boise traffic, Allegiant 6, crossing midfield on the downwind. We'll call base Boise. Let's see. First 320s were the old ones with the CRTs and the analog backup instruments. We really hated them, I bet. Plus they they were the Dash 216 variants, only 22,000 pounds thrust. Ah, gotcha. So have y'all completely phased those out of the fleet? Cali Simmer. But does the plane have to be in some configuration to watch the playback? I always just put it kind of in a landing type configuration with my physical quadrant. So I'll do flaps full, armor spoilers. Like I'll just kind of get everything set back to the way it should be, and then hopefully it'll kind of work. For the most part, everything's not going to always work as it should, but a lot of times too, I think I found out like when you land, if you like put your physical throttle into reverse, it'll then show the airplane in reverse on the throttle, but you kind of have to like still be doing that yourself. Alright, we're going to start our way down to 6,000. And we're going to slow ourselves down to 180. Then we'll go into heading mode. Go to a heading of 015 probably, something like that. And that'll start getting us in the direction we need to go. We'll level off here, bleed off some speed. Let that glide slope get a little bit above us so that we can make sure we capture that after we capture the localizer. Got Alt Star. Alt. Let's go heading. Heading. And we'll go flaps 2. Now we're on the crosswind. And we'll go approach, or on the approach mode. We'll go Lokestar. Let's dial it down to 170. We'll stay 170 until 5 miles. Jimmy, fix info. Let's go 5. Cool. Perf, we'll activate approach phase. Boise traffic, Allegiant 6, 14-mile final, runway 10 right, Boise. Loke. Glide slope's coming down. Getting some stutters. I wonder how hard this scenery is on the frames. So I've never flown in here before, so this is my first time y'all getting to see it with me. Last leg of the day, yeah, this is the only leg I'll be flying today. Girlfriend will be home soon and bringing me some food that I plan on destroying because I am starving. We should be able to stream again on Tuesday though. I have nothing going on Tuesday. Girlfriend's gonna be at work, so we'll get us some legs in on Tuesday. Hopefully, try to start in the morning. Maybe kick the day off with either 7.3 and then go Airbus, or do some Airbus then 7.3. But I would like to do 7.3 because I haven't flown the 7.3 in a hot minute, other than yesterday's little deal. And it reminded me of how much I wish I was a little more current on the 7.3. I was struggling yesterday in that little simulator. 9 miles. Our missed approach altitude is going to be 73. Boise traffic, Allegiant 6, 7-mile final, runway 10 right. Allegiant. Or, that's me, not y'all. Boise. Allegiant. Jeez. Alright, let's go. Manage speed, gear down, arm spoilers, flaps 3. Yeah, it definitely seems like we're struggling on the frames a little bit. The closer we get to the airport. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin crews advised. Auto thrust speed, auto brake slow, eco landing all green. Good God. Alright, start the recorder. And we're recording. And we are stable. And the girlfriend's calling.
500. 400. 100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Spoilers, reverse green, decel. Manual braking. She don't even know where Boise's at. Boise traffic, Allegiant 6 is clear, runway 10 right, crossing 10 left. Boise. And Boise traffic, Allegiant 6 clear, runway 10 left. Boise. All right. See what Valence's showing on that one. Negative 134. So I guess the overlay does work better when using FSU IPC rather than whatever other thing, SimConnect, that it was using. Yeah, the frames do better if the view is looking away from the terminal. It seems like it's a bit better. And then when we go back towards the cockpit, it'll probably get some nice little lags. Alright, so we'll just pull her in here on gate number 15. I was hoping to find like ground equipment and that kind of stuff, like the gate that the sim wants me to park at, so we'd have a marshaller, but it looks like they're out there on the other side. Why ain't this turning? Hello. Well, the left and right doesn't turn. I wonder if that's because we're recording. Let's yeah, we'll stop it when we get in the gate. Brakes set. APU's on. Shut down number 2. Shut down number 1. And stop the recorder. Now let's see if it Yeah, so nope, still not working. So I'm trying to turn the view left and right, and it's not working. It only moves left, right, forward, and back, but it doesn't pan. I was trying to do like look straight up at the airplane as it's coming into the gate, but no joy. So for the replay, Buddy the Red Dude got to head out. It's 5 a.m. Oof. All right, man. Hope you have a good night and a good morning, Hashim. Good to see you as always. Let's pause this. Head to AOC. Received. Arrival. Sweet. So let's kill this. Negative 134, 96% satisfied. Slightly ahead of schedule. Soft landing. Cool. Thanks, Pax. Appreciate y'all. Alright, so let's kind of get everything configured for landing again. Oh, wait. You know what? I need to turn off pilot's light first. Because it might start thinking I'm trying to do some other stuff and take away points. Oh yeah, got a nice solid 100 on that one. Everything's in the green. Like it. Alrighty, so last but not least, let's just get this thing all set up. And let's see how well we can make this work. And again, this is going to kind of suck because I can't really pan the airplane. Why? No, shut, you stupid. Thank you. Alright, load. And let's do this one. I think you have to let it play through like one good time for everything to really that thing is moving so fast. Yeah, that's moving way too fast. Why is it doing that? Alright. Try this again. So the other thing I just found out, or just figured out, is redo. Gotta turn on control. There it goes. Not doing it at the right time though. That thing just does not turn with it. Rotation speed. Trying to perfect this little there it goes. That looks right. Still don't turn fast enough. Alright, one last shot and then we're gonna get out of here. I'll let everything load up. Let it all get synced. But guys, I do appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me today. It was a fun little flight. And we can look at doing some more streaming on Tuesday. Don't think we really have anything going on Tuesday, so we can plan on doing that. I think we'll get some 737 action in, as well as some Airbus. We haven't flown the 737 in quite a while. Callie Simmer, I appreciate it. Hope you do the same. Hope to see y'all again here on Tuesday. We'll get this nice wing view to close things out. Thank y'all so much for coming to hang out with me today on this this surprise short notice little stream. Had enough time to figure get one leg in. As always, I appreciate y'all. Looking forward to seeing y'all on the next one. Until then, I hope y'all have a great beginning of your work week, or beginning of your week if you ain't working. Man, those frames are terrible. We can't handle crappy frames like that. So we go right wing. Oh, that's a lot better. Should be better. Let's see if that looks better. Tony, what's up, dude? So I caught in just the very last part of the stream. Everybody have a good night. And again, always remember you can reach me direct in the Discord. It's in the description below. If you got any flight suggestions you'd like to see, stuff like that, just give me a holler, let me know. Maybe we can work that in. Them A10s. Alright guys, everybody have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you on the next one. Keep it on the wrong side. Peace!